Okay, guys. So I know I haven't made a new video for my YouTube channel about my everyday life in the last few days because I've been pretty preoccupied with work and doing things you know that are actually really important. But today I just wanted to show you a few things that I had to get, well, that I wanted to get to help out with the whole machine that I was talking about. The machine that breaks down plastic bottles, like one of these that I have here. Like this is Zephyr Hills bottle. It's not empty, but I have plenty of those bottles, and I want to break those down and turn them into printable filament for my 3D printer. So I want to show you one of the things that I got today, and the reason why I want to show this is because it was only like $6 from Lowe's. So I went to Lowe's today to get me some M3 screws and bolts. They're metric, basically. Not American standard stuff, but either way. So this right here is a wire cutter that I just found. I have a yellow one that's kind of like this. That's the reason why I picked it up, and it's from Cobalt. And I like that company because they're really good. They work good. Their tools are really nice. I got a Cobalt hammer, and I even have a Cobalt box cutter. I just need to get a new one, I guess, because it's old and rusty and like kind of like sticking up against the other parts of it, the metal of it. But either way, this I just got today. It was like $6 from Lowe's, and I'll be using that to help make and cut the wiring for my machine that I'm making. Now, I just got this table in yesterday. This cost me about like $32 from Amazon. It's just a small little table that has some legs that pull out downward. And this right here, I'll just show you the box of it right here. I got a lot of stuff on the table already. But this is the 12-volt power supply, and it's right over here, if you can see that. Right here. And it does, I believe it was 10 amps. Just trying to see. The input source is here in US. It's American Standard. So it is input, it is 100 to 120 volts AC. And then you can see right here it says it does 12, output is 12 volts DC, and it does 10 amps, 120 watts. So this right here is going to be the machine that I will use to turn on the machine, basically. And then I got the switches too. I bought all this from Amazon. These switches came with like 6 of them, I think. And I even have the 3D printed holder for the switch that I just have to add the wood screws to on the bottom. You can see those three holes right there. And this switch fits in perfectly into this 3D printed part that I had made from the Amazon, the Thingiverse creator that has that YouTube videos. Anyway, so that switch fits pretty well. And I even got out of my shed. I have a lot, well, my studio office basically. I have some soldering irons that I'm going to be using to solder the back of these connectors right here. I could use spade, because these are basically male spade connectors. And a spade connector is a metal wiring connector. And it's a flat, like, I don't know how to pronounce it exactly. It's a flat circular object that's metal, and you could just slide it right into the male version right here, and it'll fit. So I could use that, but I may just wind up soldering these connectors, because the middle one is the lead, and then the one on the outside, I think this lead out here, if you turn it on like this, or turn it on and turn it off, it'll do the buzzing noise on your multimeter that I have right here. it can do the continuity test is what it's called. Anyway, once that happens, then you can just know that that will be the break in the circuit or turning on the circuit, which will connect the circuit to turn on the machine. So I'm going to be adding that to that wood that I have. That's right over there. I have it over there with a lot of other stuff on it, but um, that I got the motor too, and I got some the motor controllers for it. I got a 3D print the motor controller housing 3D printed part that will add some more wood screws, just like that switch right there would need. So I need to 3D print that next for the machine, and then all I gotta do is solder some wires. I did get some more wiring. It's 22 gauge, I believe, wire from Amazon, which cost me like $10 for like, I think it's like 16 feet. I don't really remember, but either way, I got the wiring that I would need, and I did get some fork connectors that will be able to go up underneath the bolts here that could slide in just like this one is. Like I got this regular computer outlet plug right here that I can plug this in and then turn it on and turn it off, like you can see right here. So it does turn that on. I was able to see this little LED right here turn green to show you that it was on. And then so with that being said, that the power supply does work fine just using this AC computer plug-in inlet. And I have it right over here. I can just plug it in if I wanted to and turn it on. But I'm not going to do that right now because there's really no point. But I did measure out the voltage. It does show exactly 12 volts using my multimeter. I was able to test out two different multimeters, and both of them were showing that it was already putting out 12 volts. I do that just to make sure, because whenever there's a power supply with a potentiometer like this one right here, you can adjust the voltage to be higher than 12 volts or lower depending on where it's at. So I always double check to make sure that it is showing the voltage I need. So 12 volts for the machine and all the for the motors and basically everything I would need. So that's why I got this 12 volt power supply right here for us. Even though I already had like 3 12 volt power supplies, this is my 4th one now. But it was fine because this only cost me about $16 to $17, maybe $18 tops after like shipping and everything. But I was fine doing that just as long as it works. And then now I just got to 3D print a few more pieces. I did get the motor attached. It has M3 screws on the front that holds it in place. And then I got some skateboard bearings. I don't know if you can see that. Let me just see if I can get close enough so you guys can see. So right there, I got some skateboard bearings right on there, and all I gotta do is solder some wires to the back of this motor right here, and then I can connect that to the motor controller, and then I'll be able to turn that on, and then I'll be able to have it rotate the spool that I 3D printed. This is a spool that I made, well, the guy made that I had a 3D print. So this is the spool holder for the pulling of the plastic bottle wire, and then that will be able to be a full spool of printable filament when it's done. But either way, so I got the motor connecting to the gear down here, and that gear is connected to another gear that spins this spool that I made, well, that I had a 3D print. Either way, so I got that all set up, and this whole thing is 3D printed with PETG. This is white PETG, and then this is PLA black. That was the thing that I was talking about that I was having issues with, was PLA. But I was able to get this printed out and the legs printed out in PLA. But this was before I started having issues with the PLA, so I kept it because I don't like wasting filament or throwing things away that I couldn't use. Either way, let me just get a little closer here. So I got me another one of these. I'm sorry, I just got a lot of stuff over here in this freaking ridiculous, man. There. Anyway, so I got me another one of these right here. This is the 12 volt power temperature reader or controller. So I got me a second one that's basically just like the first one. I was trying to find one that was 500 degrees Celsius that can go up to that temperature. But again, I bought it from Amazon and they gave me another 50 to 120 degrees Celsius. So I contacted the Amazon seller about it because it was supposed to be 500, and he's gonna send me a partial refund because I'm not giving this back because it's on my. I'm pretty sure I could still use it, but I still would want to have a 500. But he said, well, since he thinks I can use it, then he's gonna give me like 60% credit, I guess. And I did order an actual I think it's called a K probe, a K probe, I believe is what it's called. So it's not exactly like this one, but it's close, and it can do 500, which I got that from, I think, AliExpress. Anyway, so the K probe isn't like this. It kind of looks like a bolt, kind of like one of these. But once I get that in, it should be in about another 2 weeks because it's basically coming from China. But once I get that in, then I'll be able to use it. It can be controlled by a 12 volt or a 24 volt power supply. So I do have plenty of both of those, but either way, I'm just going to be using the 12 volt since I'm going to be running the motors and everything. But either way, I just wanted to mention that to you guys because, you know, obviously this is a lot of information, and I do like the guy's videos, but he's not that like dedicated at explaining what he's doing. But this has a 3D printed holder for the temperature controller. So it has some holes in the bottom just so I can mount it, like put some wood screws in and mount it in place to attach to the piece of wood here. But I didn't add that to this temperature controller yet because I'm waiting for the new one to come in, because I'm pretty sure, because this is actually a little too thick. Like, it needs to be, the inner part is not, it's too pressed up against this. It won't really fit. I have to probably use my soldering iron to kind of melt the edges so that I could make this area a little more easier for me to input the temperature controller into place, because it doesn't exactly fit all that great. It's a little too thick. See right there? So I'm waiting for the other one to come in first just to see if that will fit. If not, then I'll just use my soldering iron and melt the edges here and flatten this down a little bit so I can make one of them to fit perfectly. Or if I have to, I'll just remix this and make me a new one of these just to make sure that it actually will fit without any problems. But other than that, I'm fine. I just want to let you guys know what I was up to these last few days. And I did make and have working that part that I designed for my boss at my job. I'm gonna have to make a video about it because it does fit. Everything is working fine. He loves it, and even the store owner loves it too. He thinks it's cool. And I'm pretty sure he may want me to make one for him. I don't really know, but I mean, I haven't talked to him. It was just my boss telling me about what the owner of the store was telling me. Anyway, with that being said, he likes it, and I'm glad that he does. And next, for the store, I am planning on designing a holder for my store's spatula, because it's messed up a little bit here. Let me just grab it so I can show you. Okay, so this is one of the spatulas that we have, and if you can kind of see, it's hard to make up, but it's kind of like, you can kind of hear it's a little shaky. The handle is kind of like messed up. So I want to 3D print me a handle cover, basically, because since this handle is kind of like already kind of broken, like falling apart, so I'm gonna make a handle that will cover over this wooden part, and then I'll probably add some wood screws to keep it contained in the cover, and then I won't have to worry about that being loose or anything weird happening to it. But that will be done within like a week or so. I don't think it's gonna take me long. It's just I have to work tomorrow, so I don't have time to do it tonight or tomorrow in the morning. So it's just gonna take a little time. But either way, hope you guys liked the video. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about all this. And I'll see you guys in this video. Goodbye.